All right, so now that you've heard it once, let's go ahead and read it one more time to stamp important information. This time, please go ahead and write down any phrases or numbers of information that you would have annotated if this problem was directly in front of you on a worksheet. So Jackson and his grandfather constructed a model for a birdhouse. Many of their neighbors offered to buy the birdhouses. Jackson decided that building birdhouses could help him earn money for his summer camp, but he is not sure how long it will take him to finish all of the requests for birdhouses. If Jackson can build 7 birdhouses in 5 hours, write an equation that will allow Jackson to calculate the time it will take him to build any given number of birdhouses, assuming he works at a constant rate. Okay, so we've done the read portion of read, draw, write. And now when we look at draw, I see that we are talking about two different things in our problem. So like when we deal with a ratio, right, when we compare two different things, it is easiest to set up a table so that we can begin organizing that information. So when I think of a ratio, I think table. Okay. And so in order to put the numbers or the information into the table, we need to figure out what the problem is asking us to find. We know it wants us to write an equation so that Jackson can calculate the time it will take to build any number of houses, right? So build any number, not hashtag, of birdhouses. Okay. So we know that we're comparing the birdhouses and the time, but we need to identify which one is the independent or which one is the dependent variable, right? Does it even matter? Well, yes and no. So no, it doesn't necessarily matter if we were just given, the number of houses, and the number of houses made could then depend on how much time Jackson can work, or the amount of time he works could depend on how many birdhouses he needs to make. But then in this case, it does matter because the question is telling us which one is specifically dependent on the other. So let's read it closely. Jackson wants an equation to calculate how much time it will take him to build any number of birdhouses. Okay, so if that's the case, we're going to pause and think about which one would be the independent, which one would be the dependent, and how do we know?